Wayne, delighted to have you on the programme. This weekend sees you back in the EFL dugout. How excited are you?
Yeah, very excited. I think being really pleased with the work we've put in over pre-season. But ultimately, everything is being geared up to this game on Sunday. So really excited. Looking forward to the game. Again, it'll be a tough game against a good Sheffield Wednesday team. But yeah, really looking forward to it.
You say you've been putting a lot of work in. What have you been concentrating on most in pre-season?
Yeah, well, I think the main things obviously is getting the players up to speed, the fitness levels up. But then obviously more importantly, the tactical work, how you want to play, in the details of your game with, as a team, but also as individuals. We've had quite a few new players, 6 new players brought into the club. So integrating them with the new teammates as well. So been a lot of work, a lot of hard work the players have put in. But yeah, I've been really pleased with the efforts they've shown in training in the games. And as I said, that's all being geared up for this game. So there's nothing better than the first day of the season, and hopefully we can start that well.
You mentioned 6 new signings there. Do you feel that you've been able to shape the squad enough to implement your ideas?
Yeah, no, I've been really pleased with the players we've brought in. There's been a real process into getting them players into the club. How that's all worked has been enjoyable to be a part of, and um, players are wanted and players I believe can help move the club forward. So yeah, the players who have come in, a lot of them have done most of the pre-season with us. So I think it was important that we got a lot of our work done quickly. So yeah, the players have been fantastic, really, and I couldn't have asked for anything more from them in pre-season. Now it's on the players and myself to make sure and go and show everyone what we've been doing pre-season and try and start it well.
What else do you think you need? You've been linked with Jaden Dans at Liverpool. You've been linked with a number of other players as well. Do you think you'll do much business between now and the window shutting?
Yeah, I think we're always alive to players who become available. And I think when you look at loan players, there's many players out there who will be, and the parent clubs will be wanting them to go out on loan. But normally that happens at the end of pre-season because players are only just coming back now after the European Championships to their clubs as well. So there are players, of course, we're looking at and we've got an eye on. And there's also players who, if available, we would like to try and bring to the clubs, but we've got room to do that. But I think more importantly, it's making sure we bring the right players in the right positions, which we feel we might need.
Last season, Plymouth finished just above the relegation zone. What are your targets for this season?
Well, I think to improve on last season, certainly. And I think for Argyle to stay in the league last season was a real positive. I think with the players we are bringing in, we are trying to improve on that. But I think more importantly, there's a process and there's a goal we want to try and hit over the next few years, which myself, the owner, the board have spoke about. So that's more important for us. And next season is to try and start that process in a positive way. Of course, we have our targets we want to reach this season. If we can do that, then we'll be really pleased.
Um, in order to do that, you might need some of your more established players. Morgan Whittaker is one of those. Are you going to be able to keep hold of him?
Yeah, I've said this before. Morgan's been fantastic all pre-season and showed no signs, no indications of of him wanting to leave the football club. He's trained well. He's been really happy, bubbly around the place. So and he's on a 3-year deal as well. So Morgan's, as far as I'm concerned, is really happy and he will be here with us this season.
You obviously have had a couple of experiences in the EFL and in the MLS as well. What do you think you learned from your experience at Birmingham? Because you didn't get much time, just 83 days, but results probably weren't what you wanted either.
Yeah, results weren't what I wanted. So I think again, football, especially nowadays, can be quite cutthroat. So as a manager, you have to understand that. But I think from me time at Birmingham to now here at Argyle, it's been really refreshing working with the owner, with the board, and there's no everything is there for you what you need. So my budget, what I have for players, budget what you have for travelling, I know exactly what that is. It's down to us to then try and do the best we can with that. There's no grey area. It's all there for us to deal with, and it's been really refreshing. I think living down here has been really good, and it's different. I get a different feel to this football club. I think um, the fans are very close to the club, very close to the players as well, which I think is great. Nowadays, you don't normally see that. So it's a real good environment and a real community club. So it's really been refreshing the last couple of months being here, and being part of this great club.
What did you do during that period between the end of the Birmingham experience and the start of the Argyle one? Because it was probably the first time since you were 16 that you had an extended break of that sort of length from football, really. Were you significantly bruised by what happened at St Andrews?
Yeah, I think it hurts, of course, and I'm a proud person, and I think um, when you're trying to achieve things in the game and it doesn't pan out, which has happened to many managers, many top managers, that's happened to as well. And I think that's, again, it's not nice. It hurts. I had time to reflect on things I've done well, things I maybe didn't do so well. I've spoke to many different people from board levels on different situations which I went through with Birmingham, and really understanding why things happen, reflected on myself, and put myself in the best place I can be to come into this role. So yeah, it was frustrating, difficult time when you have that time off because you want to be around football. I filled that time obviously with bits in TV and different punditry work and etc. But that's all substitute for what I love doing, is being part of football and being in the game. And thankfully, I've got a great opportunity here at Plymouth Argyle to go and showcase myself again, and try and develop myself, but try and make this club succeed.
Do you think there's more pressure on you because you are Wayne Rooney?
Yeah, I think that's something which I've learned to live with, and that's been with me since I was 16, to be honest. And my name, creates headlines, whether that's rightly or wrongly, it does, and something I've understood and had to accept from a very young age. So yeah, maybe that pressure becomes a little bit higher because of who I am, but ultimately I know what my goals are. I know what we want to do, how we want to do it, and I have to just try and perform and work hard to make sure I get that right.
And what is admirable is a bit like you, Frank, Lampard, Steven Gerrard, yourself. You all could be just playing golf, going into TV studios, touring the world, giving inspirational talks on cruise ships if you wanted. But actually, you want to work, you want to be a coach. What is it about being a football manager, a football head coach, that makes you want to do it?
Just desire and love of the game and passion. I think it's what I've known since I was a young boy, and my whole life has been based around football, really, since and certainly from professional level since I was 16. And it's when you're in the game, sometimes you do take it for granted because you've been in it. It's when you step away from it and you're not in it, you realize how much you miss it. So I think having that hunger and desire to better yourself, to be successful, exactly the same as a player. So you have knockbacks as a player as well. Um, but what's important is you don't let that be the end of you. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go again. And that's where I feel I'm at. I'm re-energized, ready to give everything to try and be successful. And um, it's what I know, it's what I enjoy doing. So I'm delighted to be back in it.
Well, look, I've read a lot of your newspaper columns. I know you're a deep thinker about football. So tell me, in an ideal world, what does a Wayne Rooney team look like? What's its philosophy and its style?
Well, I think for any football team, the foundations are important, and that's hard work. That's you know desire, hunger, willingness to do the dirty part of the game. I think that's a given. Any of my teams has to have that. And then on top of that, obviously, the way you want to play, the philosophy, the tactically how you want to play, how you feel the game could be won. How can you get your individual players who are match winners? How do you get them on the ball in the right areas? The details of the game then all follow the basics and the foundations of the game. So I think if you do the first part right and you have that foundation, I think normally what you see is players start to elevate themselves and players start to, you know, become match winners and make the difference. So yeah, I think as long as we get the first bit right, then it's my job, it's the coach's job tactically get the team in the right place to win games.
And how much of that will we be able to see on Sunday? What sort of Plymouth team are we going to see on Sunday?
Well, I hope you see a difficult team to play against. I think we are very organised. We press in the right areas and try and win the ball back high up, and as you'll see from pre-season games, we want to be an attacking team who takes the game to the opposition, and we're going to have difficult moments in the game Sunday. In every game in this league, you go through a difficult period during the game, and that's where the togetherness you have to pull through as a team to get through them tough moments to then allow yourself to the opportunity to go and try and win the game. So hopefully you see an exciting attacking team, but a very resilient team as well.
And what would you say to those pre-season pundits who haven't necessarily watched everything in pre-season and seen how your team have developed, who have been tipping you for relegation this year?
That's fine. That's their opinions. I think football is about opinions. I respect everyone's opinion. That everyone's got a voice. No problem. People having their opinions, but I think what's important is what I think, what the board think, what the players think. I think we have improved the squad from last season. So yeah, it'd be nice to sit here on the last day of the season and say, right, we told you that weren't the case. We proved you wrong. But we've got 46 games to go. So at the minute, it's all about this game on Sunday, and if we can start well, and I think that's a good base for us to move on through the season.
I know you kept a keen eye on England over the summer. Is it an ambition of yours one day to maybe move into that dugout?
Not at the minute. Certainly not at the minute.
Not
No,
at
I
the
think
minute, but in the future, do you see it
you never
on the
know. Listen, I
horizon?
think I love the day-to-day of football, so international football is obviously a little bit different from that. But for me, I love the day-to-day and being around the players on a daily basis. But as I say, I'd never say never, because obviously I'm really passionate to be from England. Very proud to have represented my club on many occasions, and if that situation arises, maybe one day in the future, then it's certainly something of course you'd look at. But at the moment, that's very very far away.
Who do you think should be the new England manager?
I've said this before. For me, I'd love to see Pep in there. I think he's obviously he's a winner. He knows how to get over the line, and yeah, he's not English, and I think in the past I've said I think it should be an Englishman. But I think with that close, with getting that close to winning trophies, it might take someone like Pep just to get us over the line. So I'd love to see Pep. But I'm delighted for Lee Carsley if Lee's going to take the next two games. I think he's a good coach, a good person. Hopefully he does well, and for him, you never know. Gareth went through that same pathway and got the job. So I'm pleased for Lee over the next few games to do it. And if he does well, you never know, maybe he gets the chance to do it full time. But yeah, in an ideal world, then you'll have Pep.
Well, good luck at the weekend. We'll be up there on Sunday at Hillsborough, and we'll speak to you after the game.
Okay, cheers, all the best. Thank you.
Cheers.